Hello, welcome back. Apologies, it's taken me a while to get another video up since my last one. Listen, doing your makeup is just like going to the gym. If you don't stay consistent, when you get back into it, things might be a little off. So the last two videos that I filmed, one came out really gray. I don't know what went wrong there. And then the other one was actually really boring, and I thought to myself, if this is boring to edit, it's gonna be very boring to watch. So I said, you know what? Take your time, film something that you really enjoy, and I was really inspired by the Oscars, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Those directors are hometown heroes here in Los Angeles, and it was just really emotional, and I don't know, I don't think I have ever enjoyed an Oscars award show as much as I did this one. It was one for the books, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor. I mean, their speeches. I cried so much. And yeah, I just thought I would do a look as if I were going to the Oscars, because I'm going to manifest Kyle and I being there in the future for something that he has created. Kyle is my fiance, he's a screenwriter. So that is my manifestation for us. And also, apparently anyone can go to Oscars after parties now based on what I saw. So let's get into it. This is also, by the way, not just like an Oscars makeup look, but like a major event look, because I have a standard recipe for this look. Anytime I have a big event, sparkly eyes, slightly smoky, glossy lip, perfect skin, that's my go-to. And it was a perfect excuse to show you a really glam look when I otherwise would not be getting fully glam. Hair is up and out of the way. It's the only way I can do makeup tutorials these days. Anytime I try and wear my hair down for a makeup tutorial, it just pisses me off. Okay, first of all, I've already prepped my skin. Pat McGrath Labs Divine Skin Rose 001, the essence. I'm going to use this to further prep and add that slip. I did not think I was going to like this product. I smelled it and immediately thought, no, this smells like perfume for my face. I actually really, really, really like it. It instantly makes your skin glow. It adds the perfect amount of slip. It's just the perfect skin prep item. If you have difficulty blending products onto your skin, this is gonna do it. And look at that, instantly glowing. It's just so good. And honestly, I have been enjoying, why did I say that weird? I have been enjoying fragrance in my beauty products, contrary to popular opinion. I actually like it. I think it's very Parisian, and as long as it's not irritating your skin personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If it's irritating your skin, then obviously choose fragrance free, but I really have been enjoying fragrance in my products because I think it's a more luxurious experience. So come at me, fight me, I like it. That's my personal preference. Today it is raining again in Los Angeles. I'm sure you're tired of hearing every Los Angeles creator talk about the weather here, but it's just been crazy. It was pouring rain a few seconds ago, and now it's bright and sunny, but I'm sure it'll start raining. So there might be some noises, there might be a fluctuation in the coloring and how bright this video is, so just bear with me. I don't always use a primer, but for a big event, I like to make sure that my T-zone doesn't get super oily, and this is definitely my favorite Vanish Airbrush Primer. This is different than the mineral primer from Hourglass, and I only apply it. Oops, been a while since I primed my face. It's a little stuck there. I'm just gonna add this. I add it little by little to the T-zone. So right here in this pocket, especially around my nose, that's where I tend to get oily. And I don't know, it's just a really beautiful primer. It doesn't really, I don't think it really does or makes a huge difference, but something about it makes my makeup look flawless, and I really, really love it. Softly matte down the center of the face, glowing elsewhere. That is what I like to see. And then to add a little more glow, always Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter for a natural glow. Wait, before I get too far along, actually, I forgot. Let me just blend this out really quick. So when I'm doing a fully glam look, I do like my brows to be filled in versus laminated. It just looks more polished. I remember attending a Dior event last March, and when I saw the Getty images, I was like, your brows look a little undone. So story with that, 2 things I learned from that. One is that filling in my brows and having them look more defined looks better for an evening look when there's gonna be photographs that are not in your control, aka Getty Images, the paparazzi. Just kidding, no paparazzi are ever taking photos of me. It's better to have them filled in just because it looks more refined, more complete and like done up. The second thing I learned, which, take notes here, okay, listen. If you ever wear transparent shoes, like those clear PVC shoes or whatever they're called, take an antiperspirant deodorant and spray it on your feet. It'll prevent your shoes from getting steamy and sweaty. I learned the hard way because shockingly, this was my first event where I wore clear shoes. Or maybe it wasn't my first event, but it was the first time someone else photographed me head to toe wearing clear shoes. And I fell victim to steamy, sweaty shoe. And I'm sure that my score on WikiFeet has gone down since then. And if you don't know what WikiFeet is, honestly, don't Google it unless you truly want to know what it is. I'm gonna fill in my brows. So I always powder it first because it prevents the pencil from slipping and sliding, and it just gives me a more accurate application. It adheres better versus if the skin is oily, it'll kind of just wipe away, it'll smudge. And then this is my, honestly, I think this is like my longest running favorite product, Dior Brow Styler, Universal, or shade 002 Dark Brown. It's the best. I need to do a video on just like beauty trends and my thoughts because a lot of the things I've been seeing floating around lately, I've actually done for a long time, and others I feel a little indifferent about. I was just thinking about how everyone's been doing like the straight brows. Let me make this brighter. Everyone's been doing the straight brows, and I took Kyle to a beauty event not that long ago, and when we left, he said, I noticed a lot of girls had brows that went like this, like they were like this, like what was, like, is that like a thing now? Like, I don't know, their brows were like going up. And I was like, I think he's talking about the straight brow trend, and clearly he noticed and he thought it looked a little interesting in person. I'm too nervous to chop off my brows for a trend. Like, I would probably have to cut them off right here. Ugh, I'm really nervous. I don't know if any of you have done it. Please let me know. I do think it looks great on people. I just don't think it's for me. No sé si es para mí. Oh my god, can we also talk about, when I zoom out, we're gonna talk about this. Can we talk about Benito and Miss Kendall Jenner? I'm gonna go back in with my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, high points of the face. Just like this. I always do the jawline to get the glow on there because I'm not gonna add a physical highlighter there. It just looks like too much, but adding this underneath works great. And then blending it out with my Hourglass brush. Okay, so while I blend this, let's talk about Benito and Kendall because it's funny. I was in San Francisco visiting friends, and it's funny how my friends who weren't Latino didn't really understand it. They thought I was over exaggerating and being like a bit dramatic or feeling a bit pressed about a celebrity, whereas my Latino friends 100% got it. It's not like I'm upset in terms of like, oh, maybe I could have a chance with Benito. I think a lot of people think that when they hear how upset, especially like a lot of female fans are about Benito and Kendall. Oh my god, what is this rain? The Rain is a paid actor when discussing my feelings about Bad Bunny and Kendall Jenner. For me, it almost feels like the Kardashians, to me, I wouldn't consider myself a fan. I don't really follow any of them. I don't follow any of them. The only one I follow is Kendall because I thought that she was the most level-headed. Her and Courtney, I almost forgot her name. I feel like they're the most, like, they understand their family, the situation they're in, and how ridiculous it is. And I saw Kendall's episode with Jay Shetty, and watching her on that podcast made her a little more human to me, being someone that doesn't follow the Kardashians at all. But there's just something about Kendall and her tequila brand, 818, which I have never tried, never purchased. And her dating Benito, it just feels like she's literally gentrifying Bad Bunny. It feels really weird. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but then it also feels like Bad Bunny is going against what he says, like in his song, I think it's El Apagón, right? He says, ahora todos quieren ser latino, no, pero le falta sazón. Like, Where's Kendall's sazon? Where is it? I don't know. I just feels very like contradictory almost. Like for him to be like the voice and face of Puerto Rico and then to date someone that's a part of the Kardashian family just seems very like, ¿Qué está pasando? I don't know. It's really hard to explain, again, to those who are not Latino. Like, it's harder to explain and to understand, whereas the Latino community is very boisterous and upset because it just feels like Benito is going against his own morals and values. So it's very much Benito's like wrongdoing as it is Kendall's. So, and also you cannot blame who you fall in love with. So if they're genuinely in love or just like enjoying sexy time together, then fuck it, like that's life, you know? Like who's to say that they can't be together, can't date, can't do the freaky deaky? Like who's to say that they can't do that, you know what I mean? It just feels a little tone deaf on Benito's part, and it feels a little clouty. Like I would not be surprised if for Coachella, Bad Bunny is repping 818 and has like a whole 818 branding at Coachella. You know what I mean? Okay, that's that. Let's apply this freaking foundation, okay? Because I'm digging myself into a hole here. So this is Light Reflecting by NARS. I always work it in section by section and then take my sponge and just press it in like that. Ugh, this finish is so pretty. Here's the foundation fully on. Stunning, I mean, so good. I want to use my Dior Forever Skin Correct, which by the way, someone messaged me and they said, what do you think of the new formula? So I'm like, did they reformulate it? What's going on? I don't know what's going on. I have to ask my friend that works there because that is my favorite concealer. And if it's changed, I might be upset. Unless it got better, which could also happen. I've decided I'm gonna use the Rose Ink Concealer. I don't hear too many people talk about this concealer, and is up there with my Dior concealer. The formula is stunning. Spagliato. It's beautiful. Anytime I say stunning, I immediately think of that TikTok audio. TikTok is making us dumb, everyone. It's making us dumb. I love it. I hate it. It's everything in between. I don't know how to feel about it. I feel I need to solely focus on my YouTube and nothing else, but then I know my management would yell at me for not being on TikTok or dying Instagram. I feel like it's so funny. I've learned to never ask how people feel about a certain platform unless you're on that platform. Because if I ask you on YouTube how you feel about TikTok, you're gonna say you hate it. But if I ask on TikTok how you love TikTok, and everyone's gonna say that they still love it. Ooh, almost a straight line. Only comment if you're actually on TikTok. I don't need to hear why you hate it if you're not on it, because I know why you hate it if you're not on it. But I'm curious how those of you on TikTok, if you're still loving short form, how you feel about it now that it's been a while. I've been on TikTok now since, I want to say I downloaded it in 2020, but I didn't actually start creating on the app until maybe late 2020, 2021 is when I started creating on it. And I do love it. Look, I love that it gives a platform to so many artists that otherwise would never be seen elsewhere. But in terms of how long I've been on there now, I just feel like it's getting really repetitive. The whole point of TikTok is to use trending audios in order to be seen, to go viral. And I just feel like what's happening now is everyone is chasing virality. Everyone's chasing numbers on TikTok. And it's diluting a sense of creativity. At least for me, it feels just very repetitive, same thing done in 20 different versions. Some good, some really shitty. It's getting harder for me to just create on there or be on it and fall in love with it because I'm just like, oh, I've heard the same thing 1,000 times. I've heard the same audio, now it's stuck in my head and I feel dumb with this auto playing in my head. But then it's also kind of funny when, you know, a trending audio and you see someone and you're like, you know? And now Instagram, I don't know if you guys saw all the changes Instagram's been making, and I'm like, why are you guys doing this? Like, just make it a platform that works. That's, you know, makes people happy. Like, stop trying to like, I saw like a video explaining all the changes and what you need to do to succeed on Instagram, and I'm like, this is crazy. If you thought it was a full-time job before, they're trying to make you work overtime now. It's literally like, you have to post this many stories and you have to post every day and you have to use only their only audios from their library for your reels, no original audios. You have to edit within the app. They don't want you editing outside the app. So they want you to like literally sit there in the reels section of your Instagram and edit your videos. Like, who is going to do that? I'm not. Ugh, this concealer is so good. If no one else is going to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. And it's probably expensive because it's rose ink, but like I said, stunning. Look at that. Like butter. It really does rival my Dior Forever concealer. For my contour, I love my Westman Atelier contour stick in Biscuit, but I recently got, it's a little too, it's borderline a little too warm, but this is the Fenty Matchstick in Mocha, and the reason I'm going to use it is because the other day I did this, and it fit. I liked the way it fit, but I don't know. I don't know what's happening now. I don't know, it worked, so I'm just gonna use it. And like I said, it's a little too warm, but whatever. It's a little more precise. I guess it's just, it's kind of like, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm gonna shut up now and just apply it. I always like to do this and see where I have those hollows of my cheeks. Kind of connect it there. And then I'm going to blend. I'm gonna use this little Persona brush. Now, see, it's still working out. We're just gonna have to further diffuse it so it doesn't look so strong. I always do concealer first and then bronzer. And I tried it the other day where I did bronzer first and then concealer, and I actually kind of liked it. It just comes down to like what you want to be a little stronger. If you do your contour first and then your concealer, I think that your contour comes out a little lighter. Whereas if you do your contour second, your contour is going to be much more prominent because you're adding that color in last, and then it's a little stronger. Whereas when you add your concealer, it tends to blend over the contour. So if you have an issue with your contour always looking too strong, it might be a better option for you to do your contour first versus your concealer. But see, with a little bit of blending, it's going back to normal, and I always do blend it up into my brows and even into this like crease right here. So if I need to, I'll grab it from the brush directly and I'll add it right here. Makes you look like a lioness in my opinion. And then I'm going to use the large side. This is why I love this brush. I'm going to use the large side to blend out the larger areas. And I'm also going to, I almost forgot, I also like to add it right here. I always add my contour to the crease. When Kyle knows I'm filming, I don't understand why he chooses to do yard work, especially when it was just raining. Look at that definition right there. Yes. It is a little on the warm side, so this is why I love my Westman Atelier Biscuit. It's like the perfect contour shade. And I also really want to try the new Milk Makeup contour sticks. They look perfect as well. And they make them in contour and bronzer shades. The bronzer being a little more warm, the contour being more gray, more cool toned. But we're just going to go with it for today. I think it still looks really good. The formula of the matchsticks is amazing. When I'm blending back over, it's essentially taking whatever foundation's left over on the sponge and just further diffusing and softening up that contour. If it's looking a little too orange, a little too strong, it's really going to help to diffuse it like you saw on the nose. I'm going to start with Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish and a Kabuki brush. So I'm starting with this. Everything's pressed into the skin. And I'm just going to blend this everywhere, even my under eyes. And look at the difference that makes. And I'm not going to powder the eyes yet because it's really going to help when doing my glittery eyeshadow. But what I am going to do is bake my under eyes with this Dominique Cosmetic Rosita powder. I did not think I would be a fan of pink powders. I was wrong. They look incredible, especially if you're like light to medium, light, fair, light, medium. It's what all of us should have been using instead of banana powder if you are on the lighter side. I never liked banana powder. I always thought it made my under eyes look actually yellow. Banana powder is great if you are a more tan skin tone, and then the pink powders are great for those of us that are on the fair side. But I am going to take powders. I'm telling you, there's a powder for, like, There isn't just one powder for everything. I seriously use so many powders in my makeup routine. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna lightly powder around the edge right here. So that way when I blend my makeup, it blends out really easily and looks really soft and diffused. If not, it's just gonna stick. But I want the lid to still be a little sticky and wet because I'm gonna be adding a glittery eyeshadow there, and it works best when the skin is like that versus powdered down. When you powder down your entire lid and then try and add a glittery eyeshadow, it just looks a little sad. And I also went back and added my Laura Mercier translucent to my laugh lines because I'm a very expressive person and it will start to show later in the day. My shimmery bronzer, my tried and true Glowish Soft Radiance Bronzing Powder 01 Light. I apply it to my forehead and then blend it into this area. So the same placement of the contour again is going to define more. This is going to add a glow. It just makes everything look well blended and diffused. And this is one of those other makeup trends I've been noticing a lot lately. And it truly is like my go-to technique, especially for days when I'm not going fully glam. So I start with the forehead first and just pat it in. Just the most beautiful bronzer. I feel like so many bronzers make my forehead look crazy. Like a bronzer helmet, and this one layers so beautifully. It almost feels like you're not putting anything on when you first apply it to your skin, but because the brush is white, I can see that there's actual product on there. If the brush wasn't white, I would think that it wasn't picking anything up because the formula is also really tightly pressed, compact, I guess you could say. So there's no fallout. If you do like the pick it up and tap, you don't see anything. It's a really interesting, almost like hybrid sort of product. I really, really love it. I feel like, you know what I feel like? What's that one wrestler with like the yellow handlebar mustache? Like, oh, brother, who is that? That's what I feel like right now. I feel like he was canceled, so maybe I shouldn't even bring him up. And then I'll also add a little more right here. Because it has a shimmer, it just adds to that overall highlight, whereas you wouldn't contour with a shimmery bronzer, but because we've already contoured, we can add this right into this little area, not bringing it too forward, just keeping it right here. So it's almost like the high points of the cheek, or like right where the contour meets the area that would be highlighted. That's where I apply it. Okay, zooming you in for the eyes. So the secret to the eyes is, let's make it bright. Pick a glittery eyeshadow, and then you just need one or two other eyeshadows to accent it. So this is, oh no, I forgot it's broken. This is usually my go-to for a glam look. This is the Victoria Beckham Beauty, what are these called? Victoria Beckham Beauty Lid Luster in Mink. But I think today I'm gonna use a different shade. Victoria Beckham Velvet is what I'm gonna use today. Woo, so good. I'm gonna use Supreme Nudes. So I'm gonna start with Silhouette. I'm gonna talk too much during this. We're just gonna trek along quickly here because I've already chatted your ears off. I've been here for a while. And also, when it comes to shadow, it's like the one part of my face that I really need to focus on. Then a tiny bit of this darker shadow just along the lash line. So keeping it really low and then maybe tucking a little into the crease right here, but not too high at all. And then this little inner corner right here. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I didn't blend the shadow right here because I like to drag my shimmery shadow on the lid and then kind of like sprinkle it up this way so I don't really connect my shadow there. I'm hoping it's still available and it was never discontinued. It's the secret to making shimmery shadows pop. This is the by Mario, Makeup by Mario Master Metal Manipulator. He launched this with his original eyeshadow palette and it seriously makes any shimmery shadow pop. So, wait, is this Mink? Ooh, I got scared that I was opening up Mink again. Okay, I'm gonna take a flat brush. So I always pick up the shadow first and then on the lid, I'm gonna drop a few drops and mix in the shadow, and it just does something magical where it really does make it look like liquid. Look at that. So I start on the lid, lightly tapping, and then once most of it is on there, I'll tap up. Once it's dry, I'll just take a clean brush and blend along the edge of that shimmery shadow so it looks a little more blended. If you follow me on TikTok and Instagram, you might have seen that I attempted this look once and it came out so bad. I also use a little bit of that powder, by the way, to further diffuse the edge of the shadow, whatever powder I'm taking off, just like that. Yesterday I tried doing this with a pencil, and I think the pencil that I chose was old and really dry, and it was looking so chalky and uneven. I gave up for the day. I was like, you know what? It's already late. I should have filmed early. I'm an early filmer. I'm not a late filmer. This is looking so much more on point with what I like to see from my makeup. The other one I felt not confident in, which is definitely what you don't want from an event makeup look. Okay, we are going to finish off the eyes. So just applying the shadows to the lower lash line. And then you know what I'm also gonna do? I'm gonna take a tiny little pencil brush and I'm gonna add this shimmery shadow also to like the lower lash line. This is seriously my go-to look. I may switch up the colors, but I'll literally do this exact same technique for an evening look when I want it to be a little more dramatic. This is my favorite eyeliner and it's on its last little bit. That's literally all that's left. It's the Hourglass Waterproof Gel Liner in Voyeur. I don't know, it's the perfect shade to me and the formula is incredible and I'm sad. It's almost gone, but I'm going to literally scrape the bottom of the barrel here. Contour. Look at that. If I had a little more, I would add it like right here just to define this inner part. Yes, yes. I don't know if you can tell what that did, but it did a lot. Buxom. I want something really soft and nude because my lip is going to be nude and neutral. So this is Wanderlust Blush from Buxom in Seychelles. I do like to go pretty high with this. Oh, this color is perfect. It really smells. I would assume this is what a vacation in Seychelles would smell like. I've never been. It's on my list. Before I add a highlight, I always mist MAC Fix Plus Stay Over setting spray. Oh, this look came out so pretty. Not to toot my own horn or anything. Final touches. Benefit 24-hour brow setter. Lightly whisked into the brows to not affect your foundation, because I've done that before. Oh my god, I do have it. I was like, I'm curious if I have telescopic. Let's try it. Mascara gate unlocked. Honestly, so dramatic. I feel like we're living 2016 on Beauty Talk right now. Ooh, I do not like this brush though. I'm scared. Do I use it or do... No, I shouldn't use a new one. No, no. Number one rule, never use something new that you've never tried before for a big event. And I am keeping this makeup on for dinner, so you know what? We're almost done and I'm not gonna let a mascara ruin my look. So I'm gonna use my tried and true Sky High in Super Black, or I think it's called Very Black, and then Brown Black on my lower lashes. The lip is Rare Beauty Kind Words Matte Lip Liner in Wise, and then my absolute favorite lip gloss is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade 020 Sun. This is the final look. If I were going to the Oscars, because you never know, I might be, maybe next year. We're all rooting for Kyle. Or myself, you'd never know at this point. And I would probably honestly wear my hair up, because I just feel the most put together when my hair is pulled back out of my face and I'm not messing with it. I feel comfortable in this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Love you so much. See you in the next one. Bye.